Hi everybody, welcome to G for G here on YouTube. Today we're going to be in DC Legends after I just checked to make sure my mic isn't horrifically loud again. Every now and then the mic properties reset and it goes up to, okay, good. It's not 100. Alright, so we're going to be taking a look at 3 characters today. 3 from the latest update. Just checking my mail here, make sure there's never any attachments unless you finish a damn PvP season. Mail in this game is disappointing. So, today on the calendar, got 10 more fragments of that chick back there, and she's ready to be unlocked. Unfortunately, the hero challenge that I was working on is gone. Damn. I'm going to be short. I knew there was a reason why I wanted to be playing this game in the middle of the day, and I kind of forgot. Damn. I missed out on who I was going for. There was Siren. I was 5 short on her. I was going to reset, or Mera, excuse me. Siren is who I think I'm about ready to unlock. But yeah, I was going for Mera, came really close, was just waiting for a little bit of energy to come back, and was going to hit up her challenge again and unlock her, and unfortunately didn't. But hopefully she'll be coming around. So in that case, we're going to be looking at 2 heroes today. It's going to be Aquaman and Siren. So here is Siren. She is a blue. She's called Assassin of the Deep. She comes in when you get her from the login bonuses as a 1-star. So we may as well get one of the dailies out of the way by empowering some of her gear. Let's take a look at her abilities and everything. Vicious Constructs. Damage to an enemy. Apply 2 bleeds if the target is bleeding. Dagger Deluge. Damage to an enemy. Apply 3 bleeds to a target. So, much like MAA, here is a circumstance where somebody does not go like 1, 2, 3 with their abilities, but somebody who starts with something not in the first slot. So you're going to hit somebody with Dagger Deluge and then go into Vicious Constructs. Unless, of course, somebody puts out the bleeds ahead of time. So, this actually looks like it eventually will add to a bleed, which is kind of nice. And I'm going to go ahead and also get Aquaman from the store. I had been up at like 7,600 packs or so, 7.4. And I said, you know, I'm working again, getting some money. Let me go ahead and get enough essences so that I can buy his pack. So now we've unlocked Aquaman. Oh, what's with Cyborg? I don't really need Cyborg right now because he's ready 5 stars. Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn. That wouldn't be too bad, but not for 9,000. And that's what we've got going on in the store right now is Aquaman's still got a week left. Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn's got about 14 hours. Cyborg's got about 2.5 days or so. Alright, let's go to Heroes and let's unlock Aquaman. So he starts off as 3 stars. By the command, the mind of Atlantis is at your service, milady. And we get to rank him up again, so he is immediately 4 stars, which is pretty cool. Might of the Ocean. Damage to an enemy, gain mend, or apply a bleed. I am your king. Apply crit immunity to the team. Apply 3 death immunities if he is mending. Trident of Poseidon. Damage to an enemy, plus 50% damage if the target is bleeding. Apply 2 bleeds if the target is not bleeding. Interesting conditionals. Damage and special damage to the enemy team, only usable if mend on self and bleed on the enemy team. So, clearly, Aquaman likes bleeds. And he also likes mending. So, broccoli is definitely a good way to go for that, because he applies a random mend on people. Does this Lex apply a mend to... Apply 1 speed up to allies, 1 extra speed up to Lex, medium heal? No, it's just the medium heal. I honestly don't recall if anybody else does a mend, other than, of course, Bane. Chemo applies it to himself. This Blessing of Naboo? No, it's just intelligence up. Yeah, I cannot recall if anybody else does a directed mend. Star Sapphire. No, she's a heal on herself and a heal on somebody else. Yeah, I don't think anybody else that I have has the ability to apply a mend specifically targeted. Okay, so since we know he likes mends, that's actually, we have 5 people that could possibly work with Mera, or actually Siren and Aquaman. So Aquaman likes bleeds and mends. Siren likes bleeds. Clearly, Chemo works. Broccoli works for the random mends. And of course, Cheetah works for the bleeds. So you have a 5-way combo over there. You have Cheetah and Chemo, Broccoli, Aquaman, and Siren. That's just like right off the bat. And that's just the ones that I have. Of course, there are potentially other people that you might have unlocked that I don't. So let's go ahead and bump these guys up a little bit and take them out into combat. So I'm just going to give him... Yeah, okay, that works. That's a decent enough boost over there. I have so many level 2s just because of doing the majority of dailies every single day. I don't always do the PvP every single day, but sometimes I try. I actually surprisingly have not lost any of the PvPs that I've attempted to tackle, which is kind of nice. That really doesn't make much of a dent in my level 2s. Okay, so let's form a bleed team over here and take these guys out into combat. Let's give them something softball over here. And we'll see what they're like. Alright, so that was a mission team for a little bit. This is what was just doing the Mera challenge. And that is not my PvP team. Actually, well, this is my PvP team here, number 1. Her for the heals, him for the mend and tanking, Broccoli Cyborg for the raw damage and his leadership, which says all allies have a 30% chance to gain a 6% turn meter buffed, with the mends being random and his speeds and everything, and of course his taunting and shields. Good amount. Whoops, no, didn't want to do that. Harley Quinn is in an interesting spot for this. I like drawing out extra mends, or potentially pulling out Cyborg's level 1 so he can do his level 2 as his first action. But she is technically not my most powerful. If I was going for my super powerfuls, I'd throw Robin in there. I'm just not always that crazy about Robin's rotation. I feel his invisibility comes up a lot, and I'm just constantly refreshing it, and I hate taking that turn. I just don't think his damage is there. Everybody tells me to bump up Huntress, and they've given me reasons why, so you can see her power is pretty strong, but she's only a 2-star. She may take Harley's spot when I get up to 3 stars. So, let us build a bleedy team over here and see what we've got going on. So, we will bring Aquaman into the lead. We'll bring Cheetah. We'll bring Chemo. And there we go. So that's the team over here. There's no mends. This is all bleeds. Let's actually take her out. And let's put in Broccoli and see if we can get a random mend on Aquaman and see what that does. So as you can see, you know, you've got a couple things you could do here. You can try to get the mends in there, or you can try to go to all bleeds. It could be interesting. And I think maybe if your Chemo and your Broccoli are relatively high level and high stars, it could be decent in PvP. Maybe. I don't know. I'm amazed at when I look at the PvP hero board, how many green arrows are up there in some way, shape, or form. It blows my mind, but Siren looks like a weird alternate Wonder Woman with that helmet and everything. So let's start off with the potential random mend. No reason to taunt with this. So the mend went over to Siren. So damage to an enemy, apply 3 bleeds to a target, or damage to an enemy, apply 2 bleeds if the target's bleeding. Nobody is, so we're going to open up with the bleed. Kind of a Green Lantern-esque thing going on over here. Wow, I'm not used to seeing 4 abilities for any one of my heroes. That's crazy. Damage to an enemy, gain mend or apply a bleed. Apply crit immunity to the team. Apply 3 death immunities on self-mending. We don't have the mending. And damage to an enemy, plus 50% damage if target is bleeding. Apply 2 bleeds if he isn't. So let's just do a level 1. And we get the mending instead of the bleeds. But that's okay, because here's Chemo. We're going to hold that off until the next round. Chemo got the mend. So we've got 3 people mending at the moment, which is not really half bad. Another mend. Wow, see, this is something I've brought up in a past video. I feel like somebody who occupies that position that Aquaman is in, and for me it's usually Cyborg on my main teams, I feel like that position gets targeted excessively. I see more people aiming for this position than any other one. So he's got a mend, they've got bleeds. Let's try this passive. Crit immunity for 1 turn. Looks like she got the mend. See, there we go again. Look. That's 5 attacks in a row that have gone to that slot. Have you guys noticed this too, or is this just me? Is it my luck? Let's taunt, because Aquaman's kind of getting his ass kicked over here. She pierced that shield and did a good number and a lot of bleeds. He gets the mend again. Broccoli's taking that like a champ, which is pretty cool. There's her level 1. I just feel like Chemo just straight up deletes people. When somebody's bleeding and he throws that level 1, I just feel like he erases people from existence. Let's get some bleeds on him. Damage and special damage to enemy team. Only usable if mend on self and bleed on the enemy team. We meet those conditions. A little weak. Strength down him. That's a pretty good hit. She might be pretty decent. She's not even that well built for me, and I think she's potentially going to... Wow, that's a nice amount of damage from Aquaman there. My verdict is these two are not too bad. Now, the thing is, if you go all bleeds, I don't think that's necessarily going to work due to the fact that Aquaman's never going to get really the well, I shouldn't say guaranteed mend, because Broccoli never hit him. Alright, so let's take out Broccoli. Let's put in Cheetah, and let's go all bleeds and see how this works. I'm fairly impressed with... See, look at that helmet. Does that Wonder Woman's helmet not look like Siren's helmet? It's very, very close. If you hear a little bit of TV in the background, that is the rebroadcast of this week's episode of Legion. If you have not seen Legion yet, I encourage you to do so. It is a trippy, trippy fucking show. Damage to an enemy. Cooldown is reduced if it's bleeding. Apply 1 strength up to all allies. 40% chance to apply 1 extra if an enemy's dead. Nobody's dead. Waste of an ability to do it now. They're already bleeding. I feel like she's doing reasonable damage. Damage to an enemy, 50%. That was a little weak. Chemo gets to hit everybody now, since they're all alive. Okay, Cheetah is ready for her buff next round. Yeah, a little weak, but he's got the mend now, which is pretty good. And now we get a strength up. Yeah, she's doing decent damage. She really is. Not fully impressed with Aquaman, which is sad, because he's 4 stars. But Siren is... She's making a bit of a believer out of me. Call her alternate Wonder Woman. Oh, alright. So, finally we get to use Maelstrom on everybody, because he has a mend, and they have at least 1 bleed. Well, that's not too bad. It's better than Supergirl's AoE. Oh, Chemo. Oh, Chemo got focused. Wow. So that kind of breaks my... let's all jump on the top position guy. Chemo got destructed. And there's the death immunity. Too little too late, Aquaman. There's a reason why you're considered the pussy of the Justice League. Like, have you ever heard one time in your life somebody answer the question, like, what's your favorite DC character, or what's your favorite superhero of all time? Does anybody ever say, Aquaman! Yay! I can talk to a dolphin and ride on the dolphin. Yay! No, and it just doesn't happen. Aquaman having a conversation with Rick from The Walking Dead. Coral, where? He's still got the mend. Let's apply the death immunity. Just to see if Cheetah Gets ooh, that that might almost be coming true. Up. Well, fuck you then. Yeah, I'm thinking this all bleed team needs perhaps a little bit more sustain. I think keeping Broccoli in for Cheetah would have been a good idea, especially because of his tanking. But the Maelstrom's not awful. I just don't like his damage that much. Well, I think he got the mend on that one. Did he get a mend? Yeah, he's got 2 mends, but he's getting focused. Oh, there's the death immunity. That's... Oh, she went to town. Yeah, that 3 is the only ability that's really impressing me on him. I don't think his AoE is the worst AoE that I've seen in the game, but I'm not that impressed with his skill set. That level 3 is good, though. I'm happy with that one. I'm just not that thrilled with the rest of his kit. And I'm disappointed that I messed up and didn't manage to get Mera. I kept thinking, oh, there's a reason why I need to play this right before it resets, and I was planning on doing it, and then I just kind of forgot. I was like, oh, it doesn't matter, it'll reset, I'll just do the stuff when I do my video, and I kind of borked that. Who knows, maybe your challenge will come around again soon. But it is kind of disappointing that I just needed another 5 to get her, and I knew exactly how to get that 5, and I messed up. Let's see if we can find her moveset over here. So, yeah, too long, didn't read. Aquaman, kind of impressive on his level 3, the Trident. Other than that, not particularly thrilled. Maelstrom's not the most awful AoE that I've seen, and potentially to have him at rank 5 and make him a team leader and have all those resistances on the team and a crit immunity at the start of battle, that's probably good. And maybe in much higher level PvP where damage, incoming damage to your team might be considerably higher, that might not be a terrible passive. But Might of the Ocean, okay, obviously his gear's got to get upgraded and his abilities need to get upgraded, but Siren, at pretty much the same level as him, is impressing me more, and she's not even as many stars. So, moving on. Let's see what else we've got going on here. We need to take a look at alternate Wonder Woman, aka Siren. So now obviously she's called an assassin, whereas Aquaman is billed as kind of like royalty. So it would make sense that an assassin would do more damage, but I'm impressed with these two abilities. I mean, I'm going to upgrade both. However, I bet this one with the extra bleed is going to be pretty nice. And it is good to see somebody's abilities get mixed up and knocked out of order a little bit, so it's not just the blind like 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 or something. To go 2-1 is pretty cool. Let's see what Zebel Fury is. Light damage to the entire enemy team, 5% increased damage per bleed on an... Ooh, that's really nice right after a chemo. Oh man, these two, Chemo and her, hold hands like fucking crazy. Gain evasion up when an enemy takes... Wow. I think Siren's going to be good. I really do. Especially if you can throw out an AoE. Like, feed her Chemo, and I think you've got a really nice pair going on over here. Aquaman, I think he needs a little bit of protection. I think he needs a tank. I think Broccoli is very good if Aquaman's out there. I think Broccoli and Aquaman are the two that need to be teamed up. But throw in another bleed out there. So maybe, let's say, Chemo, Siren, Broccoli, and Aquaman. Not bad. Or take Broccoli out and give Zatanna for raw healing and hope he gives himself the men. It's up to you. I think he honestly would be great on a 5-man, but we can't get a 5-man on this. We have only 4-mans. It's okay. I like Siren better. And I'm sure as he gets maybe up to rank 5 and legendary and the gears are upgraded and his abilities are upgraded, he might get a little bit better, but based on just similar powers and everything, I like Siren more. Let's see. Hydrokinesis. Special damage to an enemy, gain a mend. Favor of the Sea. Apply 6. There you go. So they're all meant to go together because Mera should be giving a mend to Aquaman, and then Aquaman is fully unlocked. Special damage to an enemy, 3% increased damage per mend on Mera's team. Ebb and flow, 30% chance to apply mend to the team if 2 or more teammates take damage from a single attack. Chance to apply 2 agility ups to a teammate. Yeah. So anybody with self-mending, like Bane or Chemo or the random mending of Broccoli, is probably going to be Mera's good friend. I think Aquaman probably really needs Mera and Siren to be present on the field to be at his fullest potential. And it's kind of sad that it requires 2. And I honestly feel like Siren doesn't need anybody. She benefits if there's another bleeder, but she doesn't need anything. I think she stands on her own and kind of writes her own destiny a little bit. So, there you go, guys. There is a look at Aquaman and Siren. I do apologize. I was not able to get Mera for you guys. I don't think it's going to list up to 500 Siren fragments. Maybe she'll come back around. Maybe I think that's his like legendary look. That's going to be her legendary look, which looks like something almost out of Diablo. I think I like her look a little bit better non-legendary, but still looks Wonder Man-ish to me. If I didn't know better and I was like scrolling by and I'd be like, oh, there's a Wonder Woman that looks like Lady Liberty from the Tick. I'd be like, oh, that must be another Wonder Woman. And I'd be scrolling by and I'm like, another Wonder Woman? What the hell? So let me know what you guys think. If you have Mera, tell me what you think of her. She almost looks like she doesn't really do hardly anything offensive, kind of like the rescue of the game. But what did she have offensive? Everything was just so Mendy oriented there. Hydrokinesis. From what I've heard, special damage is very good in the game because it just basically is raw damage that doesn't get mitigated and everything. So, who I'm farming for currently, based on what I received as advice on the last video, I am farming for Green Lantern, and I'm also farming for Huntress. So let me get that out of the way while I'm here. Well, no, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do Speed Force. Yeah, and the other thing I want to know, guys, if people find that that top position gets unnecessarily picked on more than any other position, or if you find that even the AI in PvE tends to target your healer, like does your Zatanna catch a lot of heat when she's out on the field, I would definitely like to know that too, but really I want to know if that top position gets picked on for you guys the way it is for me. So, alright guys, thanks for checking out the video. Stay tuned to the channel for more videos coming up. Potentially in this game or others. Don't really know that I have anything in MFF planned. Maybe want to do something about MCC because they made some changes again. And of course they've pissed me off with them. But anyway, peace out guys. Have a good one.